We were here bright and early for EPCOT Day. We made it just in time, just after early entry somehow. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can rope drop Remy's. Otherwise, we have lightning lanes throughout the day. We actually made it just in time for early entry. People are scattering about. And look, it's our first time seeing these awesome topiaries. You know, when I first saw this, I thought Moana really front and center, but it makes sense, she's popular. Moana 2 just came out. These look great. All right, I guess it's been longer than I thought that since we've done early entry at EPCOT. Maybe they recently changed it, I don't know. But we are being routed all the way to the right here at the main entry. Kind of close to this character meet experience, close to Spaceship Earth. Sorry, I'm pushing a stroller. And they're verifying our magic bands here. Usually we just are able to walk straight through. But I had heard some chatter about there being some changes, but this is our first time experiencing it. So everyone's gathering and taking photos sort of at the main hub, and we were routed to go all the way to the right. Let's see how this goes. All right, we're in. Hello, Spaceship Earth is, oh, we got this, 5 minutes. Some stroller parking. In my most recent videos, people have been commenting on how I show stroller parking, and I always thought it was something that people may not care for, but it's something I always notice as a dad with a triple stroller. And so yeah, I'm gonna show it when I see it. And this right here in the left, this back area, we're gonna come around this corner. This is where Geo 82 is gonna be, slash already is. And it's opening June 4th, so just a few days from when we are here. We have reservations for it for our next trip, but it's one of those situations where it's opening just after we're here. Wait, what is this? Special event check-in. Oh, I wonder if it's what that could be. You guys, I can see inside the lounge. Oh my goodness. There's Geo 82 with the lights on. Awesome. I get a lot of questions about how I do the content planning with the kids. Oftentimes, I don't have a plan. I have a general skeleton plan of what we want to do. And, oh, Minnie is out. The new Goofy core at Connections is out. Look. Look who's here. This is where they are having, I think the sign's on the other side, the Goofy core. Bye, Mimi. Some stroller parking again. Okay. There's Phineas and Ferb for all you interested parties. I've never watched that because I was too old when it came out. And now here I am. So too old. There's the Inside Out 2 Emotion Garden. Disgusting plants. Don't encourage the children, Disney. What do you see, baby? Pink? You're right. Okay, so there's a bit of miscommunication there, and we're walking over here. We're on our way to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. We are checking out, we saw Minnie. We were looking at Communicore Hall to see if the Goofy stuff that just premiered, the Goofy core at Communicore Hall, part of the kids, Cool Kids Summer, whatever Disney's branding it. We want to check that out specifically for the kids, but we were on our way to Remy's because we were thinking we'd go ahead and rope drop that because a lot of our lightning lanes are around this area in the, is it World Celebration and World Nature and World Discovery areas. But of course, we saw some characters, got distracted, checked our phones to see if it's worth the walk all the way over there to France, and it's probably not because it says 45 minutes. That's not a terrible wait for right now, but with the kids, we have some overlapping ILLs, and we are actually here at the Play Along Bay. There's no one here but my kids right now, which is great. And so this is a, you know, they'll have various themed playgrounds around this area for the different festivals, especially Flower and Garden. And it's actually shaded, which is great. But this is really big and the kids are having a great time. And so I'll be right there, baby. I do see you. Ultimately, we are here for them. I think I was talking about how I make content with the kids. I have a loose plan and I often have to deviate, and that's completely fine. And I have to scrap a lot of it sometimes, but most importantly, strategizing and having fun. This is I like this playground, and it's early in the morning, so it's not terribly hot right now. I don't know if this is gonna be feasible later on in the day, but if you are coming to Flower and Garden next year, you know, it's kind of toward the end of the season right now, be on the lookout for the playground for the kids. All right, here's a look at the festival passport, and I was right, it does end soon, next week. So it's always interesting to visit these festivals toward the end of the year because, you know, it's a little different. The menus sometimes change and a lot of the hype kind of dies down. But yeah, there's still a lot to do. Still worth exploring if you can make it, but it is going to be harder than when they start in the early spring. So here's a look at the outside of Play Along Bay. They have this fun photo opportunity, and of course presented by Smucker's Uncrustables, which I am a huge fan of, so why not? You just can't beat that, can you? Monorail. A classic. The Lion King topiary, always one of my favorites. My kids are suddenly really into the movie too, but we do not show them the part where you know what happens, because they're so young. We're taking a much needed pit stop already. I'm outside the restrooms here, close to, all right, please no touching each other, ladies. Just a minute, just outside of the land pavilion, and we're heading over to the seas to ride. Please let me have that. Okay, and cut. Okay, so that playground is right in the direct heat. So even this early in the morning, we could not last there very long. And that's fine because we have our Finding Nemo, or the Seas with Nemo and Friends attraction, Lightning Lane. And we love this, my wife and I. My kids love it. I have a theory that it has the best air conditioning in the entire EPCOT theme park. And we like to educate the kids on conservation and under the sea life at the aquarium. And I feel like a lot of people, as much as people all talk about it, don't realize there is a full aquarium, full-fledged aquarium in here. It's kind of hidden. And so one of the biggest in the country, I'll have you know. So let's do it. All right, parking in the stroller. Got a great view of Spaceship Earth and the Journey of Water Moana attraction. All right, not terribly packed yet, although the Remy's attraction standby queue begs to differ at this early hour. And no matter how many times we've done it after this ride, we have to do the fantastic scavenger hunt. This is totally worth it to us. Our kids love it, and now my third is participating in it today. There's just a lot of fun little activities as you go around. Sorry, it's out of the frame. Ooh, I'm not the best at this with one hand. So you're able to basically do a bunch of little activities to find certain aquatic life. And the cool thing about it is, you know, ooh, it's close. You can navigate the different floors, multiple floors and all the different rooms, and see all the different types of sea life and learn about them a little bit. I love animals. Perhaps that's why Animal Kingdom is my favorite theme park. So here there is a, you know, a bit of overlap of the animal focused activities for the kids. It's summertime, it's inside. There's lots to learn while having fun. For me, my kids are probably, my oldest is starting to veer towards like, let's go ride some rides, like me. But we really enjoy this area. And another fun fact I want to say is that when I was doing some research for an Animal Kingdom video that I'm posting, it was interesting to learn about like the animal nutrition and animal sciences programs and how they work together to service this area as well. I think when people think of animals, they think of Animal Kingdom, but they also don't easily think of Animal Kingdom Lodge and what those animals require, and also what the animals here at the Seas need, which is unique because obviously these are ocean animals. So the entire those programs really have to do so much more than we think. And I always think about those types of things when I think about how expensive it is to come to Disney, sure, but there's so much that you get. You know, think about your price of going to a regular zoo or going to a regular aquarium. It's not that far off from a Disney ticket. You can get those things along with a theme park entry. Disney does not pay me to say this. I'm just saying it. I don't mean to sound like a show for the company, but it's why I like it so much. I think there's just so much to do. And so we try to do them as much as possible, especially when my kids are so young, because they're still enjoying these types of things. And just a heads up, there are some bathrooms to your back left over there. And there is Turtle Talk with Crush. And there's a gift shop, of course, into World Nature. Come on. All right, into Journey of Water inspired by Moana. All right, water connects us. Here's the water cycle. I still really enjoy this attraction. I also am really enjoying this shade, of course, these awesome views of Spaceship Earth, and my thoughts are starting to coalesce around my experience in Epic Universe. By the time I upload this, I'm not sure whether I will have uploaded that already. I probably will. So if you're curious about my thoughts on Epic Universe, my initial thoughts were very exciting. I am so excited about that land, but I'm just thinking about it from, you know, a theme park fan generally, and also as they follow their 3 little ones. Look how this just absorbs a bunch of people and takes their time throughout the day. You can slow down, our kids can play with water, they could learn a few more things and just enjoy themselves without waiting in a line. I mean, look at that. I really like this attraction. It's one of my favorite parts right here. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, raise your hands up. Again, 1, 2, 3, up, both hands. We did it. Good job. Ready, keep going, keep going. Keep going. We did it. Just a heads up, maybe a parenting tip, I'm not sure, but there are some cracked seashells here just outside of C's, and that kept my kids occupied for a few minutes. Any tip to help another parent, I'm here. All right, got a new hat. We are headed to Frozen Ever After, which is a must for us. Thankfully, we have a lightning lane for it, but it remains warm. I just want to let you all know, for many of you that, you know, watch this, you probably are somewhat familiar with how this works. But if you're not, with our test track, the new test track. If you're not, the Flower and Garden Festival runs for a few months, right? There's 4 festivals throughout the year at EPCOT. The big thing to do is try all the booths. They call them food booths. They're little carts with different types of food. There's just a lot to do, right? But they don't open until 11 a.m. Look behind me. See, we're in the Odyssey right now. This is where the Citrus Blossom is located. It is 10:20. We've been here since early entry. So if you get hungry, or if you have, well, get hungry, whatever the case may be, need coffee, you know, Connections is open, and I'm glad it is now. This is an issue, I think, for people who get to the parks early with small kids. If you don't have kids, of course, things are different, but we end up relying on Connections or getting breakfast before, which we already did, and then around 11, we're ready to have a table service reservation so we can get off our feet. And so then we eat, and then there's not as much, you know, time, or then we focus on rides or other opportunities. So what I'm saying is with kids, it's not as easy for us to try out all the different booths. So something to keep in mind. We've done it before for all of the festivals and we enjoy it, but just sometimes with the kids at the age they are, we prioritize, if we're gonna do the food booth stuff and really try to do the festival things, not focus on rides, we come later in the day so everything's already open. I guess what I'm saying is I'm officially petitioning for a festival, like a breakfast themed festival. I don't even like breakfast food that much, but if there's savory food, I'm in. But a festival that opens around breakfast time.
Imagine like pancakes and bacon at all the little different, like different pancake flavors, different Mickey waffles.
What about like savory dishes from like the United Kingdom or like in France and all the pastries? There's so many opportunities for there to be food booths around those things. Mimosas. Has someone thought of this before?
Yeah, breakfast festival.
Breakfast festival, what would it be called?
BrunchCOT.
There already is a BrunchCOT.
I know, but it's just a stand.
EPCOT.
That's gonna be the name of the
festival.
festival.
Oh, BrunchCOT. Okay. Would it be concurrent with the existing festivals or like its own little mini?
It's all year from 9 to 11.
Okay. So she wants to just reformat how they operate. I mean, and I don't want it to be like a continental breakfast or buffet or anything. I want the festival, there's Donald back there. I want the festival experience with unique things from all the different countries, being able to collect, you know, there's like the fromage montage for one of them. You know, there's just a lot of unique opportunities at the festivals to do scavenger hunts and stuff. I want it during breakfast time. I think that would be great. Who's with me? I like it too. So we just rode Frozen Ever After. So it's our first time seeing this. Look at this lug bag. This like Norway, oh, like Northern Lights type thing. Whoever's biting me, we could not. I like these shirts. And they even have some pillows, apron, more shirts. I like these designs, like the Northern Lights with Mickey and Minnie. That's cool. Here is the, what is this called? An ornament? I can't think. An apron. For those interested, I like it. All right, we just rode Frozen Ever After, literally a walk on, and we are passing by the Mexico Pavilion and we're listening to the mariachi band playing. I think it's really cool. I've never caught them. I've never seen a mariachi group that big during one of my visits, so it was cool to see that. And Fun fact, once upon a time, I was in my high school mariachi band. Never told anyone that. But for a few months, there was a period where I performed. Can you guess which instrument? Let me know in the comments. All right, so my wife and the kids are taking a break at the Odyssey. It's nice and cool in there. It's actually really empty at this time of day for whatever reason. And I am headed to none other than Guardians. It has been a minute since I rode this ride. I'm also a bit traumatized because the last time when I did the AP preview for this one years ago, I was outside in that area under the umbrellas for almost 2 hours in this heat. And I was so kind of into the fandom I still am, but at the time, so dedicated that I waited, and I would not do that again. So let's see how long this takes. Checking out the standby queue. Thankful to be indoors. All right, here we are. All right, I am excited. Just got off Guardians. That was even more fun than the last time I rode it. That was, I ran a flock of seagulls. That was a great time. Super smooth, super exciting. And also just, monorail, hold on. Oh yeah. There we go. And now my kids are starting to yell monorail as soon as they see it. All right, so as I was saying, took half an hour with a lightning lane. So, you know, it was a pretty long lightning lane, but regardless, of course, it wasn't as long as standby. So, had a great time. I've not rode that in a while because it's such a big time suck. And no one else in my family can ride it, of course, but I just really wanted to ride it this time, and I'm glad that I did because it's just such a smooth, enjoyable ride. And like I said in my epic video, some of those rides were kind of rough. This was not rough, so could be the old man talking here, but you know, I just need to try to, I really want to get, everybody wants to rule the world, I really do. So that means I'm gonna have to ride it more frequently, and I'm fine with that. What's your favorite song to get on Guardians? Let me know. Pretty steady stream of people heading into the land today. So looks like it's gonna be a busy one. Our day at EPCOT today. Okay, in case you didn't see that right now, stroller parking is actually over there to the right, in between this and the seats. So if you have a stroller, you gotta get rid of it before you get into this building, which is probably more helpful because of all the stairs. But yeah, let's get in and out of the sun. Even the queue for the land is kind of long. Look at that, crowd check. Pretty busy today. So we tried for the first time the Garden Grill restaurant, which is located actually within the Living with the Land attraction. That's right, this is sort of a part restaurant, part attraction experience where the restaurant actually rotates. It's the only rotating restaurant at all of Walt Disney World. I'm going to give a full review into the experience, the characters, the atmosphere, and of course the food in a completely separate video. And of course whether it's family friendly, but I wanted to give you a look and an insight into what to expect in terms of the layout and how you get to see different scenes from the attraction as you eat and as the characters come by. Now, the food is family style, which means they bring you a big platter and you sort of all share. And one unique thing is that the vegetables, including this salad right here, which was delicious, are actually grown in the land attraction. So kind of a cool fun fact there and a fun way to get into the idea of conservation at Disney. But yeah, too long didn't read. We enjoyed it. Look forward to the separate video coming up here soon on my channel. All right, my wife and my oldest are off to ride Soarin. My oldest's first ride on Soarin, and the younger two and I are going out of here to check out something new at Communicore Hall. Let's go do that. I think when I walked in, I mentioned that you have to take your stroller and park it outside close to the seas. You do have to do that unless you are eating at the Garden Grill. In that case, you can park your stroller next to the restaurant, but they are very strict with watching if you try to wander off and leave it there parked because they don't want that space to get too congested. So just heads up, you can use it, but in limited circumstances. I feel like I haven't really been able to stop and admire the topiaries this time. But yeah, there are some good ones out this year, as always. And if I didn't mention it earlier, we're heading to Communicore Hall right here in World Celebration. Check out the Goofy Core takeover where Goofy and friends have taken over the space for some kid-friendly activity as part of Disney's Cool Kid Summer. So let's see what this is all about. Check it out, Gooftastic Summer. Have a Gooftastic summer. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's just a big, colorful, open space. All right, I just spent about a half hour with my youngest two. So check it out, at the Communicore
No, it's okay.
Takeover. Okay. Oh, it's all of the Goofy themed merch right outside Communicore. Anyway, we're gonna skip on that because we have spent a lot already. We enjoyed Garden Grill. Kind of pricey with little ones that it's family style. I don't know if I've already touched on that, but I'm gonna cover it separately in a different video. The Communicore experience was really fun. I thought, you know, it's just a big open space for kids to run around. It's colorful. They play kids. I'm not gonna say it's kids bops, but they play, you know, Disney type music, but also some like popular hits by, you know, adult artists, and you know, it's edited a bit, obviously. And they have the cast members doing some dance activities, kind of like a camp, like a summer camp type thing, but included with your ticket inside. A lot of adults sitting around on the chairs, watching their kids run around. But it was fun to dance, sort of just let loose and not be in line for a ride. So they really enjoyed it. I don't know, I think it was a good time. If you're here, I don't know, I would definitely check it out. I would go back. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about it. Alrighty, it is the middle of the day. We are capping off our EPCOT day. That was a great day. We managed to somehow get here by early entry again. So that's pretty good on us with the 3 kids getting out the door, I would say. But we rode a few of our favorite rides. We let the kids play on the playground for a bit. We tried a new restaurant, Garden Grill. I got to return to Guardians after a while of not riding it. And yeah, my oldest rode Soarin for the first time. She's obsessed. We are now in that phase where the oldest can ride sort of a new batch of thrill rides. And she's just like me and my wife and is obsessed with them. So we're having to account for that in terms of strategizing and planning our day. So as of right now, we're splitting it up. When one of us wants to ride something more thrilling, the other one stays with the kids that can't ride it or don't want to ride it. But yeah, it was a really fun day, a really hot day. This feels like there are less cloud coverage, even though I see lots of clouds right now. But yeah, I do love EPCOT. I feel like we've really challenged ourselves this trip to just try new things, but also do a lot of our favorites. And of course, not push our kids too far or ourselves too far, which is why we're leaving in the middle of the day. But just to, you know, take it all in as we do so. And a good mixture, combination of things we love to do and why we come back. And also some new things, like I said. So thanks for following along on what I would call a very realistic day at EPCOT with 3 kids that are very young. We're heading back to the resort first, and it's very hot. We're gonna get some rest, we're gonna hit the pool, and then probably go to the Artist Palette. I might go to the Paddock for a burger. But thanks for watching, consider subscribing.